In 2022, Daniele Darlan was the subject of unrelenting pressure from the Central African Republic politicians and Russian actors to amend the country's constitution to allow the president to remain in office. She refused to bow to the pressure. Later that year, she was removed from her position due to her principled stand. Today, she says she has no regrets.
As a constitutional judge and president of the Constitutional Court, I am a guardian of the Constitution. So, at that moment, I had to make sure that the Constitution would be respected. In this sense, I only did my job. The second thing is that the Constitution is the fundamental law. It's the text on which all other laws and regulations are based. So if you don't respect the Constitution, if you violate it, it sets off a chain reaction of violations. It means that you don't have to respect any law or any rule.
Nicknamed the Woman of Iron for her stand, she is one of the recipients of the 2023 International Women of Courage Award presented by the U.S. State Department. The Central African Republic has built a controversial security agreement with the Wagner Group, a Russian mercenary company that provides security to the country's president and has become deeply enmeshed in the nation's economy. Darlan said while people initially had high hopes for the Russian fighters, those hopes have since been dashed.
The impact, unfortunately, has not been positive. If at first the population was happy because Wagner was combating certain armed groups, afterwards that was no longer the case. Wagner has committed many abuses against the population and against the armed forces of the Central African Republic. So little by little, there has been a rejection. At the beginning, they were seen as saviors, but now the population has begun to realize they were not what they expected and are demanding they leave.
And it's not just the Central African Republic that is facing threats to the rule of law. Across the African continent, there have been instances of presidents amending the constitutions to stay in power and soldiers grabbing power at the point of a gun. As someone who has dedicated her life to the rule of law, Darlan is troubled by this trend. She says presidents who cling to power do so out of fear.
Once you run a country poorly, once you mismanage the public funds, when you favor your friends and family, you're fearful of leaving power because you are fearful that you won't be protected. And your friends and family push you to remain in power to protect their interests. I think the heads of state who lead with good governance don't want to stay in power because they know when they leave they'll be safe. There won't be a judicial pursuit. They don't have illicit funds. They are at ease, and they are loved by their population.
Although she might have lost her job, Darlan says she plans to continue to fight for justice in her home country and hopes to see more women follow in her footsteps and enter the legal profession. Salem, VOA News.